Hello, everybody, to Conversations with Klana. Yeah, this is a show to show you how to live orgasmically. And this podcast is for people who desire more in their lives. Through powerful conversations, me and my estimated guests from a wide range of professional backgrounds explore practical ways and positive solutions to live more authentically, joyfully, and peacefully. And today I'm welcoming my friend Janice, also known in her business as Ultra Lume, and she helps soul-led female entrepreneurs unlock their exact success blueprint using law of attraction and helps them discover their pleasure, play, profit business model. This is so cool that I have you here. Welcome, Ultra.
Thank you, Klana. I'm so happy to be here. I miss your face.
It's a while that we met in person. It was right before the lockdown. Huh?
It was a miracle that it happened.
Yeah, it was really cool. I so loved it to have you in Berlin from LA, and now you're back.
I'm back in LA,
Yeah.
and I've actually been locked in since I came back, since I saw you.
Wow. Are you still locked in?
We are in LA still in the phase one out of the 3 phases. So we are slowly opening because I think that we are at a higher risk location. So we are taking our time with reopening.
Okay. But you are allowed to go out now.
Yes, we can go out. We still have to, keep distance from each other, wear masks. But I don't go nowhere. I just stay home. I send the boyfriend. I send him out there, and I stay home and you know, dive into the stuff that I love, which is learning more about pleasure.
Yeah. And you know what? I left my house in Berlin. Because we are allowed to go out more a little bit now. And
Okay.
I drove into northern to the north of Germany, a little bit north from Hamburg, and I'm visiting a friend just for my pleasure. So, and my pleasure these days looks to go out in the garden, to work in the garden. This is why I'm looking like this. Dirty faces, dirty feet. And I'm not used to doing those things. And then also a pleasure was afterwards, now between being in the garden and talking to you, taking a wonderful shower with a scrubbing cream. I really loved it.
I agree. I think that the lock-in forces us to find pleasure in ways that we forgot. So I've been finding pleasure in putting my son to bed. He's 3 years old, and I just look at his little hand, and I just like marvel that he's like this little person, like a mini little person, and I find pleasure in these things that I have forgotten that were so pleasing before. When you're a new mom, you're like my baby, but then you kind of get overwhelmed with life, and
Yeah.
you forget to stop and enjoy those little moments. And so I have my boyfriend around more because he's not working. That's another delightful thing. I know some people are breaking up, but that's not my case.
This is so cool, because I think that is a time where you can realize, is the relationship good, so that you come even closer together, or does it not work and you are going to split? And I think this is great.
It is interesting because I've always thought that the reason me and Jesse do so well is because we really do care for each other as people and as friends. And in this opportunity to have to be in so close proximity all the time, you realize, do I even like this person as a friend? Because we can love people romantically, but we forget how to relate to each other as human beings, and learning when the person needs space, even in the close quarters. So many times I have to give my boyfriend time to be alone and process his feelings. And there's so much chaos and that pleasure becomes purposeful. You have to find it, because the chaos could overwhelm you, and you can forget all about pleasing things and beautiful things that we still have, like our lives,
Yeah.
like the garden.
Yeah.
I saw some roses. I have a couple of roses in front, and I was like, oh, look at my roses. So life becomes pleasurable because you have to slow down and see what's important.
Yeah, this is so true. And nature is becoming even more important to me now than before. So the time where we were supposed to stay at home, I was so lucky that I have a balcony and a view to a garden, space of gardens in the middle of Berlin. And we had beautiful weather most of the time. So I was outside as often as I could, and watching the green come up and the trees grow, and it's springtime. It was really, really beautiful. And that grew my desire to go out in the countryside. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
that we have started to, some of us, develop a respect for the feminine nature of the world, and also respect that we never value resting.
Yeah.
And so even the earth itself was like, stop the whole world. And I think that with manifestation, that is a powerful example of how the whole world can actually unite. And we did it without even knowing that we all needed to take a break and maybe look at some things we never look at, like our relationships, like our children. I had friends who were mortified to be home with their children. And I couldn't understand that these people were supposed to be the people you love and care for the most. And you can't stand your own children? Yeah. So it really helped me to come back and ask myself, what kind of a parent do I want to be? What kind of a business owner do I want to be? And what kind of life I want to live? If everyone around me is going crazy, how do I maintain my sense of, sanity amongst the world? So it's been incredible, painful in so many ways, strange. But if we become like planted seeds, we understand there's a part of the seed that you have to break through the shell and fight that darkness in the soil. But that's how you grow.
What a nice analogy.
It's not an easy process, and it's secret because it's under the earth. We don't see what's happening.
Yeah.
So,
and everything is so unknown, and this is something that we need to learn. So I have been learning that for years already, since I started coaching. True. Or being coached, to feel comfortable in the unknown. So these times were not so difficult for me like for other people. Yeah. Yes. But I'm just living one day after the other. I don't have any big plans right now. I have no idea what is going on tomorrow. That's right. You know what? That makes life so much easier.
It allows you to have more pleasure, because our lives are overwhelmed and consumed by worry and planning.
Yeah.
Planning, doing. So when you can't, you can step back and just be like, okay, maybe I'll watch a little TV and take a bubble bath. Things that maybe we never had time to do before, or we think we didn't have time, So it's been incredible because there's a lot of loss. But I see humanity and the world as this big thing, not just my life. And this is where the sense of community starts to awaken, because we have to be about each other, not just about ourselves.
Yeah.
And
this is what I'm watching too. So on one side, they talk about social distancing. I would say it's physical distancing, because people in other ways, they grow together more. Even I'm not the best person who holds contact and connection with friends and family, to be honest. But even I'm talking way more to my parents than I did in the last years.
And do you find those conversations more enjoyable.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you see how neighbors help each other in this big city. So it's
Yeah.
really, really great. And this is what needed to happen somehow. It really needed to have the stop somehow, and that we have the possibility to develop something new. And
You
just
know what I love about this time? I love people who felt safe.
mhm.
People that were like restaurant owners, hotel owners. These people never thought they would ever be challenged in their finances, in their stability. And to see that, I don't mean it in a like a positive way, but to see that we never had control.
Yeah.
We never did. It was an illusion. And that we actually, instead of trying to grasp at trying to keep control, we can just live. We can say, okay. And innovation only comes from struggle. You would never invent a microwave if we didn't need it to cook faster, you know? So, when women started working outside of the home, they still needed to make food and provide. And so the microwave came. This is an invention that helped us speed up cooking. So now women could cook and, do everything. So sometimes the innovation is only available to us through challenges. And when everything's perfect, we are not fulfilling our need to grow and to innovate as human beings. And I believe we have a need to be innovative and creative. So all those things are very pleasing too. I started dancing and playing the guitar again and doing things I never made time for. So Klana, I want to know, I know that you're doing your gardening and stuff, but what are some other things that you started doing because of this lock-in?
Oh, I was listening to a lot of spiritual broadcasts on the internet, and did a few classes, and I was actually not doing much for my business. I really took the time to go inwards and to get clear of what do I want.
Yes.
But I'm not finished yet.
I'm still there. Yeah, totally. I think I've dived so much more into understanding myself from a more spiritual side too, which I love doing that kind of stuff. I love learning. So I am not super upset. I'm not a person to be going out, but I do look forward to embracing people, which is not something I didn't care about, like physically being
Yeah.
in front. I look forward to traveling again and seeing my mom. I never, that I came to Europe to see my family, which I didn't have an opportunity to see. So yesterday I was like, Mom, I just want to hug you. Ah! And I never had that need before, but maybe I did have that need and I never gave it any attention
Yeah.
as a human being to connect more deeply. So this is an important conversation.
Yeah. So Ultra, what are you doing with your clients?
So currently, I kind of did the same thing as you. I didn't focus. I was in the middle of launching a new program and I stopped it. It didn't feel aligned to be like, let's be millionaires when we're in the middle of this. Everything that I teach is still true, but I feel I have to be sensitive to what the world needs as well.
Yeah.
I have to be if I consider myself a healer, I want to be in healing in response to what people need. So I put that program on hold and I'm just working with one-on-one client very closely. And this summer is still part of that transition, where I'm just slowing everything down, taking care of my internal needs and just being guided. Absolutely don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, it's similar to me. I'm really still completely in the unknown. I don't know which direction I should go, and so I'm enjoying my one day after the other life. And I really want to encourage people who are listening us to also do that and don't put pressure on themselves that things are not moving the way they intended to do. If you are not in alignment anymore, just stop it.
That's right. Just
Whatever it
stop.
is.
I tell people, when you don't know what to do, do nothing. Just do nothing. Just learn to be still, because the answer sometimes is found in the stillness.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're too busy thinking, the answer you might be shown the answer everywhere and you just can't see it. Maybe the answer is you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong job. You hate this job. I was sharing with someone, I was like, this feels like an answered prayer to so many people who hate their jobs. But also, it's a consequence so they can take control back of their life. I believe that everyone given the opportunity should be a business owner. Why not? We can all do it. Some write a book, write a story, draw. Allow your talents to be your bread and butter, your money maker, instead of corporations and hustle and all that stuff. So I'm taking a very more spiritual perspective, and because of that spirituality, I can lean back and see.
Yeah.
And I don't get desperate, even though I have moments where I'm like, okay, how long? But then there's other moments where I was like, well, however long. I can't control it either way.
That's exactly it. That's also my way. It's interesting that we are so similar in these things. So one of those words is staying neutral as often as
yes.
you know, there is often these fight, this is good and this is bad and this is popping up and blah blah blah. Okay, yes, it's all there, and I'm saying it's all true, and you can decide which truth is yours. Which one do you want to go to? Yeah,
I believe that we are being shown that we can have multiple possibilities, that there isn't just one way or this way. So one of the approaches that I started with my clients, or the clients that I have, is to allow her to be her own answer.
yeah.
So I'm not stepping into this platform like I'm here to tell you what to do and to help you. I'm just here to support you in your own discovery. Of course, I'm going to ask you questions. Of course, I'm going to make you think about things. But I'm not doing anything except allowing you to see your own inner strength. Because do you think that I can tell you what to do? Like, who do we think we are? I can tell me and you can tell you, but we just support each other. And I think that's what our entrepreneur women that I work with, that's what they need, support.
Yeah, and that's the job of a coach, to get things out of the people which are already there, because we have it all in ourselves.
Exactly.
Sometimes we think, and I'm guilty of that too, if you want to use that word, that it's easier if somebody comes and tells you what to do. And I tried that. I did so many classes and courses where there was a system or whatever strategy that people sold me, and not only me, because it worked for them, but it didn't work for me.
It didn't work for me either. I know what you're talking about. There's so many strategies that I tried. And I think that's why, if I can talk to you just a little bit about the play, pleasure, profit model. So the play, pleasure, profit model is just a new way of doing business. And it's not anything that I can teach you. It's something that you have to discover for yourself. Yeah. But the principle is that your entire life, your entire business, if it's not pleasurable, if it's not pleasing, if it's not playful, if it's not fun, your own brain doesn't want to do it, because our brain seeks pleasure and it avoids pain. So if we make our jobs painful, hard, our brain is going to sabotage us. So if we want to get our brain, our psychology on board, you got to make your career the most amazing, pleasing thing, so you want to do it. So it's easy. So that's the principle. There isn't really a strategy there either. It's just a way of thinking.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's the same with me. I'm not working on the business model side, but I'm working with the body and how people feel, so that they can connect with themselves and with other people and have a happy relationship. And this is also something that they discover by themselves.
Yes.
Okay, when we are in person together, I can do some things physically on their bodies, but at this moment, it's not so often the case.
Right.
And it also works when I tell them what they can do, like breathing or how to touch themselves or whatever it is. And then they discover it for themselves. And this is the important thing.
Absolutely. And I believe that, like, something you said was important. A coach is just really someone that helps them see themselves. And I think that we can believe in them before they believe in themselves. So we are holding this faith and trust on behalf of our clients. But sooner or later, they take off because they see it for themselves. And all we do is, send them on our way and feel so good that they discovered what they needed for their own lives. I've tried to do strategies, even give people strategies, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So we're past that.
And isn't it so beautiful when people leave us and they have that shine in their eyes and in their face? They're really bright, and because you really see how they light
The
up.
transformation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday someone wrote me a letter. It was 7 days old in an email somewhere that I hadn't checked, and it was so beautiful. I was crying, and she said, the things that I wanted happened because I watched your class. And I stood there and I said, no way. I didn't say anything special. I didn't say anything anyone else wasn't saying, but it reminded me that sometimes the way we say it is the way someone can get it.
Exactly.
We unlock it.
Yeah.
So it's a huge responsibility to stay out there and just do this work. I still feel that sense of responsibility to help women. And I believe that pleasure is so much more than sexual pleasure. And I know that you and I have had many conversations about this.
That's true.
But sexual pleasure, listen, it's healthy, so
Absolutely.
I have a question for you. So this is a question that I had in my relationship, and I assume many other relationships. When you are in so much close proximity with a person, your sexual drive can change because now the dynamic has changed in the relationship. Do you have any suggestions to keeping some spark even with the chaos all around us?
Yeah, you can, for instance, why not making a date just for the two of you at home when the son is in bed or whatever.
That's a great idea.
Just a special time for you, and you can figure out what you like to do there. Just having a meal, having sex some kind of, or whatever you want. And you can even say, okay, 1 week you, 1 week he, and which means one of you is bringing in what they want.
Oh, I love that.
But the other one always has the opportunity to say no if they don't like it. So it doesn't mean that you need to do it. And then
I'll whoop your butt.
Yeah, and this is this so important communication part.
That's true.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with lockdown. So this is always if you
that is so true.
People
Klana,
with your spouse or with your partner is very, very important.
Yeah, you're right about that. We've had to look at that part of our lives too. And so I do believe that our sex life has changed a little bit because I can't see the news and then be like, hey, let's get it on. So we have also put ourselves on news time limits. I avoid it, but I have a man and he wants to be informed. So I say, please, 1 hour a day if you must. Please, not all day, because it just becomes this crazy, but I think that the most important thing is love for each other and love for humanity.
Yes.
I don't leave my house, not because I can or can't, because I love humans and I don't want to be part of the problem,
Yeah. And this is what it's all about, love. And yesterday somebody posted a quote from Lao Tse, I think. Love is a decision, not an emotion. And I think that's so perfect.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
Because we don't see that.
Yeah. Because we are so clouded by this romantic idea of how love and relationship should be, because we are raised like that.
Yeah.
But that's not it. This what we call love there, Moses, is not love. It's just wanting to grab something and hold it and being attached to it. I think love, real love, is free. It's not attachment.
Real love is free.
Not easy because we are programmed in a different way.
That's true.
This is also something that we can learn to let go of.
Absolutely. But I do think that is, at the end of the day, it all boils down to love.
Yeah.
It really just boils down to love. And if we can, I think that, what is it? I don't know if it's in the Bible or somewhere, but it says you love others the way you love themselves, meaning you really have to love yourself and find that space within yourself. That is the only way that then you can go and demonstrate it to others. And I think in our society it's so obvious that the lack of self-love is the catalyst for the hatred we have for others.
Yeah.
Because how could I hate others if I spend my time loving myself enough to see the love in others as well? So
and also the lack of self-love is also makes you needy. And then you want a partner to be the one who fills that gap, and that doesn't work. So this is also part of that fairy tale story of how to have a relationship.
Cinderella. Yes. The stuff that we tell our babies since they're little. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, Ultra. Thank you so much. I'm happy that I have you here on that show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure.
How can people reach you? Tell us that.
So right now, the easiest way to get to me is on my Instagram at Ultra Lume.
Okay, wonderful. I will.
And I have all, yes, you can get anything from there. That's like the only thing that I'm kind of doing for my job right now. Klana, thank you so much. Please, 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 if there's anything I can ever do, I'm just honored that you're in my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you, my dear. And everybody, goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.